everyone. Welcome to the Young Entertainment Podcast. I'm your host, Daniella, and this is my co-host, Mordechai.
Hey, everyone.
You guys, today I'm so excited. This is the episode I've been waiting for to do like literally for weeks. We are doing the Summer I Turned Pretty season finale, whole entire show, everything, recap, debrief, because oh my gosh, we just watched the season finale last night. And we have to talk about it. So, okay, we're going to do our Hot Mess Obsessed segment. But you guys, of course we're obsessed with The Summer I Turned Pretty. So should we just jump right into it?
Let's do it.
Okay, first of all, Jake looked at me last night as I was watching this. I was watching the finale, and he was like, is this like an interactive episode? Because I was talking with the screen. I was squealing. I was yelling. I was just like, he was like, what is happening down there? This episode had me, I felt like I was on the show talking with the characters. OMG. So what is your gut reaction, like in one sentence, how you felt about this last episode? Yeah, like without getting into it too much, like how did it make you feel?
I honestly, like, I felt unsure.
Ooh, okay, so I was texting one of my best friends last night as I was watching it, and that's what she said. That's exactly how she felt about it. So you're not alone in that. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate this final episode of The Summer I Turned Pretty?
Okay, should we do like a countdown and then we could like rate it together?
Yeah. Okay. We'll do countdown from 5.
Yeah. 5.
Okay. Obviously, 1 being not good, 10 being good. Okay.
Amazing. Okay.
There's a lot of numbers we're about to say. We're about to count back from 5 and then rate from 1 to 10. We got this. Okay. Ready?
I'm ready.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
6.5.
7.
Okay, good. I wasn't sure. It was between 6 and 7. That's where I was going for. So
that's funny because I was about to say 8, and then I was like, no, I'm gonna go with 7. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's pretty good. We had good vibe. We mostly good vibes. At least it wasn't, like a 1 through 3. Okay. So as the series as a whole, I just want to know, without doing it together, I want to know your opinion, rating the series as a whole, 1 through 10. What would you say?
Oh, the series as a whole, I'm giving it a 10. Like full 10, 10, 10, 10 of 10. As a whole, yeah, for sure.
We're just going to jump right in here. How do you feel about spoiler, don't listen to this episode if you haven't watched yet, because we're just chatting about the episode. So how do you feel about Belly's choice, about which team she chose, if you will?
I was satisfied with the choice. I was definitely I was fine with the choice. Yeah. What about you?
So I was about to have a mental breakdown during the love scene. We all know what that means, when Conrad and Belly are in her apartment in Paris, and then they get into this argument after we finally had the moment that they decided, like, yes, we love each other. And I was like, if she doesn't choose him after this, I cannot recover. Like, I am so done. That would have been like a 1 for me. I really did struggle with how Belly treated Conrad, and I think I struggled with that a lot. Yeah, what do you think?
Okay, so that was actually my favorite scene of the whole episode.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Because so when we find out, when Conrad finds out about his mom's cheating, he literally doesn't go to football camp, and that's why he's there for the summer that Belly turned pretty. And then that's what she said to him. She said, if you weren't there that summer, would you have seen me? And I thought that was like such an interesting thing to think of, like what the show would have looked like then, and how it would have, moved, the progression forward if she would have ended up with Conrad, because I think that was her point. I don't know. That's what I got from that.
Okay, and let's talk about this, because what I took from that moment was when she was saying, what if your mom, something like, do you love me because your mom got sick and she wanted us to be together? Is that was in that same moment, right? Am I?
Yeah, it was
okay.
it was the same one. It was right after
Yeah.
they have that scene, and then she goes to the bathroom, and then she comes out, and then she sits down and talks to him.
Yeah, I think what frustrated me about it is she had this, what was the line that she said, but she had this reaction when she was like, and like when I think it was like he said I love you, and she was like, and, or just something really aggressive like that, and I just felt like you could feel the daggers coming out of her and going straight into him. And I know it came from a place of like hurt and having her walls up, but I couldn't help but feel so bad for Conrad. Like, okay, let's think about this. This guy just flew across the world to go see this girl. I'm not even sure that there's a conference in Brussels. Like, can we be honest? Like, and so I just was like, oh, this poor guy, he is getting.
So here's my thing with that. Here's my thing with, okay, so they haven't dated since high school. They had like one Christmas together, and then they were together for the wedding that he broke up, and then he like writes these letters hoping that she'll respond, and then she does, but like just with her address. Like there wasn't really anything in the letter, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna show up and she's gonna fall in love with me. And I was like okay, I mean I guess like
okay,
in a fairy tale world, like, yeah, that's great, but from like a realistic standpoint, if I just showed up as someone's door like after 4 years or whatever it is, and I don't know, it's a little awkward. I don't know.
I get it, but okay, here's two things that come to mind.
Okay.
They really dove into the flashbacks this season, and I think that they were trying to show that like Conrad has always been there for her, and she has always loved him in some way, shape, or form, even from when she was like 6, and they went to that little shopping center area, and he let her go do her thing, and then he had to go look for her and wanted to take care of her. I think that, and when at the very end, when her mom texts her happy birthday and is a picture of young Belly, I think it's that sentiment that it's always been him since she was a kid. It's just like this lifelong love story. So you're right. Even though they dated so long ago, I feel like that's what the show was trying to paint for us. Because you're right. If you think about it, like they did in high school, it sounds kind of crazy. But then if we think about it from, I think the writers were trying to show us like he's always been there for her, and the connection and the chemistry never stopped, like through everything. Like their relationship was tangible even when it was like unseen, like even when they weren't together. And I think that was like the string holding them together, the invisible string.
I think one thing for me is that I would have liked to have seen or something like with Belly holding on to Conrad throughout this season.
Yes.
Meaning like we see a lot of like her, like especially if like at the end she chose Conrad, right? But like there was no moment where I ever felt like she was thinking about him throughout, other than like the moments from when they were kids. But we don't know if she's really like why that that comes up, but do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yes, I do. I think that I could not agree with you more, and I want to talk about that. I think that they gave us two big moments. One was like that day when Conrad went wedding shopping with Belly, and then they had that dinner together, and they were drinking the wine, they were sitting at the table, and they were laughing and having that moment. And then Jeremiah walked in, and Jeremiah could tell he was walking into a moment. And then we had when Conrad got injured surfing, and they were sitting on the bathtub side together, and she was helping him with his wound.
So I'll say the bathtub, but the one at the kitchen table, it was hard for me to really see it, only because we were in Conrad's POV. We weren't in Belly's POV, so it was like we weren't seeing it from her side. So for me, that's because that was his episode with the peach and all that. So it was like more like we were still seeing it from Conrad. So
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yes, No, I think it would have been like awesome if there were more Easter eggs throughout the episode of her being in love with him still. Like, for example, like maybe there should have been an episode where she put on the infinity necklace, like, you know, the night before her wedding or something, just privately to her or something. You're right, because I think that's what was missing. And I guess for me, because I want to feel better about everything, I'm trying to think like, what could it have been? I know that everybody reacts differently when they're in love and they're in a really tough situation. But I'm just like, exactly. I couldn't agree with you more. I wish there would have been more moments. Maybe her writing Conrad a letter at some point, or like even in Paris when he was sending her letters. Girl, write him a heartfelt letter back, please, please. Like,
right. If you're like, right. Because then when he shows up and you're like, wait, but what moment did they have that he's like, oh, now coming just because she wrote that one postcard with the address? I couldn't. It wasn't believable to me. However,
Ooh.
I did like the fact that they ended up together, because it's what she ultimately wanted, because she didn't end up pushing for the marriage with Jeremiah. Like at the end, she could have asked Jeremiah and she didn't. And then she was in Paris and she I don't know. And then when he came, it wasn't like she pushed him away. So obviously she really, was holding out for him.
Do you think it could have been almost like a moral thing, in the sense of like, picture yourself, right? If you are going to marry somebody who you're in love with that person's brother, that's a really sticky situation to be in. And I could see how she would have to almost become really cold toward that person in order to be okay with herself and operate in this world, because like that low key like makes somebody a little bit shady if they are marrying somebody and they're still in love with their brother. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe she had to have this cold, no, Conrad, stay away from me energy because of that.
Oh, interesting. And so she kind of put up a wall so that she could kind of give herself the moments that she needed, I guess.
And we did have a peek into how she felt. And I think this is part of it at the Bachelorette. Remember in the bathroom when she has that meltdown and she's crying to Taylor and the truth comes out and she wishes it was Conrad. And she can't stop thinking about Conrad. So I think it gave us an inside peek to how she felt, but it would have been nice just to see more of it. I know. It's such like a struggle.
No, and I think that was one of the audience reaction for this last episode was so fun to watch, because I don't know if I told you, but I went to bed early because I'm on the East Coast, so I woke up at like 3:00 in the morning to watch it, like as soon as it came out.
Stop.
And I watched it, and then I like couldn't go to sleep because obviously I needed to go on TikTok and see everyone's reactions and everything that was going on.
Yeah.
And the fans they weren't so happy. But I think they were unhappy because they felt like there needed to be more Bonrad moments where like Belly, where they saw Conrad and Belly, because they wanted to because there was something missing. Like there was something, like even though they ended up together, they, people felt that there was, I think like what we're talking about is that the more moments of just like the why, why now, like even though they what's it called, they were, they got to this point, but there's also like that, okay, so what happens now? Yeah,
she has to face the consequences. And that's honestly, it's a great point. That's probably part of it. What was she supposed to do if she was just about to marry Jeremiah and then chooses Conrad? Like, that's crazy. How would she ever be around her family or her friends? Like, that's a really, really, really good point. So there was a lot that just happened in this episode, obviously. And you're right. The fans are processing emotionally. They're like, where is everything like, why didn't we see more? Even just a little peek of reactions from friends, from family, something. Like, how is this all going to come together? I do think that Jeremiah now having another love interest is going to be helpful, hopefully, in the transition of Conrad and Belly being together. But if you had to pick one moment, what was one single moment that impacted you the most emotionally in this last episode?
I mean, it was definitely that moment after the, after the love scene when she comes out of the bathroom and talks to him. That definitely had an impact on me. It was like, that was the I think out of the entire episode, that was the moment I actually was like, oh, I actually feel bad for Conrad in that moment. I was like, oh, he came all this way, and now he's gonna. And I was, because I'm Team Jeremiah, so I'm like, the whole time I'm kind of. I don't want to say I still have hope, but I'm kind of just rooting for him in his own way.
Yeah.
Like wherever his story goes, like I'm very happy for him, more so than I was, to see Conrad. However, in that moment, it was like the first time I actually was like, oh, you know what? He's not doing this against his brother, because he's not breaking up a wedding. He's just, this is literally on his own. She's single, he's single, they're both, right place, right time, maybe. And then all of a sudden she's just kind of like throws this like, what are we doing and why are we doing it? And now, so that was like for me the most, I guess, impactful.
Yeah. Okay. You know what moment I loved so much, and I felt like it was the moment that I knew the episode was going to be Team Conrad, was at her birthday, when she blew out the candles on the cake, and like she looked at him, and it was so obvious, like her wish was to be with him, right? Like we all read the subtext there. I feel like
that was a beautiful scene. That whole scene with it was just it was very romantic.
Yeah, her friends, just, it was so well done, that whole birthday setup. And I also loved the rooftop moment. I felt like that is when their sparks like came back together. I feel like it was the moment that Belly decided to finally get vulnerable, and she said, oh wait, hold on, I just remembered another moment. Okay, wait, so they're on the rooftop, we love it, and she finally gets vulnerable, and then at one point, I think this is at her birthday party though, she looks at him and she says, so what, you memorize everything that I say? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, that took me out. That was hands down my favorite part of the entire last season. Entire last episode. This is going to sound messed up a little bit. I can't believe that they gave us so many other scenes in this last episode than Belly and Conrad. Like, can we just make this episode like mostly Belly and Conrad and see more of them? I feel like that is probably somewhere where the fan frustration came in. Like, we love Jeremiah, we love Taylor, we love Steven, we love the cast. We want to see Belly and Jeremiah in this episode. Okay, so from like
Conrad.
I'm sorry. Oh my god. But we want to see Belly and Conrad for the most part in this episode. So like from a writer's like show standpoint, that would be like, I can't believe they did that. I think I can't believe they did that as characters moment would be, maybe it's like from a storyline, but they had the love scene together in the apartment, and then it felt like the script flipped so quickly. Like Belly decided that she was going to go for it and she ran after him. I wish we could have seen a little bit more of that moment. Like, I didn't want her to wait a second longer. I wanted her to go chase him, but I almost wish that the moment would have been bigger when the script was flipped. Like, she got the picture from her mom, which I think was huge, and I think that a lot of us can relate to, like, looking at your younger, like when you look at a picture of your younger self, you tend to like have more compassion and love and understanding for yourself. And so I see where that came in, where she looked at young Belly and she said she deserves love too. It was like the line. But I would have loved having even more of a moment where, I don't know, maybe she got like a text from Jeremiah that said something super cryptic, or maybe Conrad had called, I don't know, just like something else that was a bigger flip the script moment. Because I think, like, to your point earlier, there wasn't a lot of like this between Belly to Conrad this season, and it's almost like I wanted something more emotional to happen to get her to that point. Does that make sense?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted it to be like this. Like, trust me, when I was watching it, I was like, but I wanted it to be even just like a bigger aha moment, because she was so cold to him. Like 10 minutes before, she was so cold.
Right.
And
Right.
maybe it could have even been like, okay, she was crying, right? When they were talking, she was sitting on the edge of bed. She started crying and that showed vulnerability. Maybe in that moment, she could have like gone over and hugged him. And there could have been this moment where like the gap was bridged, but then he still left because it's like, well, where do we go from here? Like a little tenderness shown. It just felt like it went from so cold to, I want this man for the rest of my life. And I just wanted that transition a bit. Okay, the love triangle, the infamous love triangle, the biggest love triangle of the decade, really. So final verdict, it was obviously Team Conrad. And we both discussed earlier, did the right person, it's not even a winning, that's not even the right word, but did she choose the right person? We both feel like she did for the moment, for her character. So I'm interested to hear what you have to say about this. Which ship do you think had better chemistry, Belly and Jeremiah or Belly and Conrad? Overall for the whole season, because obviously Jeremiah and her aren't together anymore.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's very hard because we don't really see so much of Belly and Conrad. We see, so like, I feel like Belly and Jeremiah were you know,
yeah. Tell me more.
No, I mean, like, I just love when they like, you know, when they're in love with each other and they're just happy and you know, all that stuff. So it's like fun for me to watch because I enjoy it. Like my favorite, not this season, but my favorite episode is the one, you know, at the season 2 finale. And I love the, you know, the Beyonce EXO and they're kissing. Like that's my favorite, the whole series.
Yeah. No, and that's totally fair. And I think that Belly and Jeremiah had very different chemistry than Belly and Conrad. It was not even like one was bad and one was good. It was different. I think the beautiful thing about Belly and Jeremiah is like they had a really true friendship, and that came out like in their romantic relationship. You could see that they had this friendship love and this ease and flow of getting along and laughing together and really caring for each other. Sparks flying kind of chemistry. And where we didn't see that as much in this last season with Belly and Jer, but I think that they both had incredible chemistry.
Oh, that's interesting that you say that because I didn't feel that way.
Really?
Like even though I know it was weird for them to like get engaged, like that scene when they're outside the hospital, like I don't know, I thought the sparks were flying.
Yeah.
There was something like she was able to let go of whatever he did or didn't do, and you know, and yeah, there was something so I guess at ease. There was like a comfort in that moment.
You know what? It's interesting how like we all watch it and we have like different takes like on the love, but that's what makes it so fun. So some Easter eggs, and this was you brought this to my attention, and I actually didn't catch this. You said, did you catch Jeremiah's ring in the key moment with Belly and Conrad?
So we don't know, like I don't know, someone pointed it out that on TikTok that there was that Belly was wearing Jeremiah's engagement ring.
Really?
During the love scenes. Yeah.
Really?
Like if you zoom in, people were zooming in, they were trying to speculate, so I don't know if it is, but people were saying, like people were pointing it out and talking about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that is very symbolic. But also, I'm so surprised because, like, Belly had moved on at that point. Why was she wearing it?
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. People were questioning that, whether or not that was like actually there or not. But I don't know.
Okay, so this next one, it was something about. Okay, so Jeremiah leaves to catch the train. Belly, I remember her checking her phone.
Conrad
Gosh,
leaves.
dang it. Why am I... See, you're like, oh, it is supposed to be Team Jeremiah winning. Okay. Oh, no. This is hard for us fans, okay?
Yeah. It's all good.
Conrad leaves. Belly checks her phone. So were you thinking that she was checking to see if Jeremiah texted her happy birthday, or was that a fan theory?
No. When she goes into the bathroom to check her phone, But when she gets the happy birthday messages from like for happy people saying happy birthday, there wasn't one from Jeremiah. Meaning when she leaves to go to the bathroom, and then she's looking at her. Yeah. She got one. I forgot who it was, but she didn't get one from Jeremiah. That's what I was referring to.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, and could we see who it was from?
Mm-hmm. I think Sky was there. Annika.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember. Probably her mom, Laurel, I believe, Taylor, and probably Steven. Probably Steven. I don't know if her dad texted her. I don't remember.
Okay.
But yeah, but not Jeremiah.
Wow, I'm so.
Yeah, I actually paused it. I was like, oh, did he text?
Oh.
And then she went out and had that conversation with him. So I don't know. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how I missed that. I was probably so caught up. You know what? I'm such an emotional person. I hate to when you're like having a moment and then the vibe changes and the energy shifts. And I like felt that. I was like in pain when they had this moment together, and then all of a sudden you could tell when she goes to the bathroom, and then he's like, where are you going? Like, you know, and he could tell it changed. And I think my heart kind of broke in that moment. So maybe I was so distracted from that, but okay, that's really interesting. So what did you think about those final montage pictures?
Oh, the Christmas pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was very confused, I'll be honest. I was trying to see, is there an engagement ring? Like what are we looking at? Like I was very like, okay, this is great. Like I thought maybe there'd be like more pictures of like the different, you know, like kind of like the transition of.
Yeah.
Wait, but before we get to the pictures though, we'll come back to that. What did you think about Belly and Conrad coming to the house and nobody was there and it was just them? Did that, like, because people were talking about this and they were saying how like it was kind of eerie. It was kind of like they came back like and like everyone had just been there. Like obviously they weren't just there because we don't know how much time had passed, but like they were saying how it was just them going through the house and nobody else was there. So people were saying like, oh, they like picked Jeremiah's side and they kind of like now have to like split the house, like when people go, when they don't go. I mean, like this is just like fan theories and stuff, but it like people were saying that it was kind of eerie as opposed to being like romantic. I don't know. This is just like something I heard, especially since I'm on the whole like Jeremiah stuff.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's funny you say that because I did feel like a unsettling, uneasy, but I think it could have come from multiple things. I think when we think of the cousins' beach house, we think of all the friendships and the memories and all the people there. So it's weird for us to like for there not to be a lot of energy in that house. So I think that's one thing that catches us off guard. I almost think it's kind of symbolic though. Like the moment that they fell in love or reconnected again, rekindled their spark was when they were both there alone for Christmas, but they kept it a complete secret. So I felt like it could have been kind of symbolic in that way. And then also I feel like setting us up for this next Summer I Turn Pretty project that we'll talk about. It's happening. I feel like it kind of really sets it up for like prompts people to go watch it, because if all the people would have been there or whatever and you did feel this happy ever after settled feeling, you're not going to run to go watch this next Summer I Turn Pretty project. I think that they did that on purpose to leave us on the edge of our seats to be like, what's going to happen?
Oh, so one of the other things people said were that the dress she was wearing, the yellow dress, was symbolic of Susanna. Like, and because it was like something, I think it was like something that she would kind of wear or something like that.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I like that. I didn't think of that. Okay, so
wait, so what were you going to say about the pictures? What was your thoughts about it?
Well, it felt so random, and I think you feel the same way. It's like, what was happening? The pictures themselves were like super cute. I almost
they were very cute.
Yeah, I almost feel like it was like almost like a cop out to be like, people want to know what's going to happen next. And I feel like it was almost like a, hey guys, they're still together at Christmas time. You know what I'm saying? Like a way to add more to the episode without filming more scenes. But
Yeah.
you're right. I feel like I wish it could have been like a little bit more, or maybe if there could have been a ring box in the background, or like just something that teases like something else that's give us more, please. That's what we're all saying.
Yeah, and then the other thing people were saying was that it was giving like early thousands rom-coms, you know, with the, you know, like
That's
especially like
cute.
with like the Parent Trap, you know, they had at the end like that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so before we get to the new project, I just want to
Yeah.
say one thing. For 12 hours, because I watched the show when it came out, and so did all these fans like who were staying up 12 hours, we did not know that this was not the end. Like we were all watched this episode, right? Thinking like
Yeah.
it's over, it's done.
Oh yeah.
So 12 hours we're just like, oh my god, like that's it, that's all we're getting. And we were just kind of like, there's so like, what do you mean that's it? Like that we like, what, we just got here, like we need some sort of, like there's no, like, you know. And then 12 hours we were on TikTok, and then all of a sudden, boom, announcement, Variety, Deadline, all these like names like popped up. They're like movie, because Jenny Han announced that they had their finale premiere at an event or whatever in Paris. So
Okay, so tell us, what was the announcement?
Okay, we're getting a Samurai Turn Pretty movie. Yeah. Which I'm like so excited about.
So excited.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. And do you know when it's coming out?
Okay, so here's the thing. Jenny Han went on the Today Show, and they were very like, well, is it coming out in 2026 or 2027? And she's like, it's not coming out next year, but we just finished like a first draft. So I don't know. I'm of the opinion, like, because this is what she announced, period, end of story. Like, she announced that it's going to be another big moment for Belly. I'm of the opinion that they finished filming and it's coming out the end of this year, because when they asked the question, they asked if it was coming out 2026 or 2027. They did not ask when is it coming out. And like, you know, it was a very like weird way of asking the question. And okay, so here's the fan theories. The number 14 has been purposely like thrown into the episodes a few times. Like I think it was last episode, this episode, because I think there was at the airport, she was wearing a sweatshirt at one point that said 14 or some sort of shirt. Okay. So people, and because it was Christmas, like they, you know, they had those Christmas, people are saying 12/14 of this year that it's gonna come out.
I just got chills. I hope that that's true.
I hope it's
Please
true
don't make us wait years.
I can't even. I don't know.
I'm speechless right now. Okay, so I had something in my mind. Okay, so this is so exciting though. I'm excited it's a movie too. I feel like it's gonna be something different. Oh, here is my big question mark. Here's what I was gonna say. Here's what's throwing me. You tell me if I'm absolutely crazy, because I'm going to lose my mind. Did we talk about this? Not this episode, but like, have you and I talked about this before? Before this season came out, there were people posting on TikTok that were in Paris that were posting behind the scenes moments. Do you know what I'm going to say? And we saw a behind the scenes moment of them filming in Paris on set, and Belly runs up to Jeremiah and gives him a hug. That did not happen for us in this episode. So
okay, I'll tell you. Here's the scoop. From what I understand, I believe Jenny Han said this, but I don't know. They film and fans were talking about this too. Okay. They film fake scenes so they could. So yeah, they film fake scenes so that people could. You don't think so? Are you
serious?
Yeah, this is what I heard.
Tell me more. They film fake scenes because why?
Because they don't want people to know, like they you know, when everyone was obviously talking about, oh, is she team Jeremiah, is she team Conrad, so they don't want the fans to know whether or not, so they film fake scenes to like throw people off.
We have to look this up right now. This is insane. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think someone said they did this for One Tree Hill, I believe. I don't remember, but I think they did this in the past for other shows as well. Yeah, no, it definitely worked because I was looking forward to scenes with Belly and Jeremiah in Paris.
Okay, so my theory, I haven't hit search on this yet. My theory was going to be that they filmed the movie already, and that's a scene from the movie.
Yeah.
Has anyone talked about that as a theory?
I mean, from what from the Christmas pictures, were they in Paris? Did it look like they were in Paris when in those Christmas pictures? I thought
that they were. Oh, but you're right. They go back to cousins. Okay, in my head, the Christmas pictures are in Paris. In my head.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know if that's a narrative I created or.
I know, me too. I also thought they were in Paris. So that's why I was thinking maybe Jeremiah shows up for Christmas in Paris. But I don't. I mean.
Stop it. Okay. This is according to Google. Yes, the Summer I Turned Pretty did film scenes with Gavin Casaglano, Jeremiah in Paris to keep Belly's final choice a surprise. Showrunner Jenny Han confirmed they intentionally filmed scenes of Belly and Jeremiah in Paris, which were then spread online to mislead fans and prevent them from guessing the ending. Wow. Okay, so obviously we don't know anything. People online can post anything, right? But that is so interesting. But side theory is they already filmed the Summer I Turned Pretty movie, and Belly running up to Jeremiah in Paris, the behind the scenes footage that we saw was actually a scene from the movie. That is my fan theory.
I don't know where this is, but there is a trailer, maybe from the first trailer that came out of the Summer I Turned Pretty for this season. Okay. There is a scene for Christmas, and lining the stairs you see garland, but it's not the same scene that you have from Christmas with Belly and Conrad. It's a different Christmas because it's different garland. It's different. The pictures are up on the wall. It's a different look and yeah. So there is a scene in the trailer for that. So that's another Easter egg of okay, it's already filmed. Here's a picture from it.
Okay, really quick. We have to look up one more thing. I need to know. Is there any proof that the Summer I Turned Pretty movie has already been filmed? Okay, no, there's no proof that the Summer I Turned Pretty movie has already been filmed. In fact, creator Jenny Han confirmed at a celebration event on September 17th that a script is written, but the movie has not been made yet. I don't know. This is emotionally draining because what are we supposed to do? Wait 2 years for a movie? We simply cannot do that. Let's just hope they've kept it really good undercover wraps. It is filmed and it will come out soon because how amazing would that be?
Wait 1 second. I'm just going to send you a picture. Hold on. So look at the bottom one, not the top one. Or maybe, yeah, just the bottom one. It's 2 pictures in one. Do you see the bottom one with the garland on the stairs and the lights? That was in I believe one of the trailers.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, this is stressing me out. We're gonna have to see what happens here.
Yeah, and
okay.
we'll be back for the Summer I Turned Pretty movie episode. So look out for that.
And that one we'll have to do some sort of watch party somehow. We'll have to organize that. Hopefully they give us notice on when it's gonna drop, or who knows, maybe it would just drop one day. Would that not be crazy?
Can you imagine just on your Amazon Prime account, all of a sudden it's oh, by the way, here's the Summer I Turned Pretty movie.
I think that would almost be the best drop marketing strategy of all time. People would freak out. Oh my gosh. Okay, do you think that the Summer I Turned Pretty will be remembered as the teen show, the teen drama of this generation?
It's so funny. Yes and yes, but I also feel I don't know why, but for whatever reason I feel this show is more for us millennials than it is for the younger audience. I don't know, I just the nostalgia of teen soaps. I don't know, that's just a feeling I get from the show. It's it brings back a lot of memories of old teen shows and
I agree.
Yeah. So it's almost 2 audiences in one.
100%. And I also think too that if they're being strategic about it, I think that might be a reason why they're doing a movie and not a season 4, because us millennials have not gotten a true like rom-com movie like we used to get all the time in the early 2000s, part of me kind of felt like that. Like, I wonder if that's why they're doing a movie, because they know us millennials are like, we're suckers for good movies. We just love them. It's like our thing. And so I totally agree. Let's talk about what's coming up next. So if you could greenlight a spinoff, this is you as Mordechai, if you could choose for a spinoff, would you red light a Redbird spinoff, Jeremiah solo spinoff, or a Paris Abroad spinoff? I feel like I know what you're going to choose.
A Jeremiah spinoff would be fun. But I'll be honest, I would love to see Redbird's story and his backstory and where he comes from. There's something so fun about him, and like the lightness that he brings is just so, his energy is just amazing. I would love that.
At this point, we could write anything. We can make anything happen.
That's
Conrad
true.
gets a job offer in Brussels. Belly says, hey, I'll live in Paris. I'll commute back and forth. We don't know. No, but that's really fun. At the end of the day, we could keep talking about so much about the show, but at the end of the day, you and I feel like are genuinely fans of this like series. We just love it so much. It's so exciting when we get to cover and talk about, like, we have interviewed a few actresses that have been on this series, and it's just so fun to get to be a part of a show that we love watching so much. And I will tell you something I want to do, and I think it's low-key because I have like the worst like long-term memory, but I want to go back and watch it from episode 1 season 1 again and just watch it over again now that we know the full story. I think it'll be fun to see those moments. But like, what is your biggest takeaway from this whole series, and what do you hope that other people take away from it?
I think at the end of the day, you tell your own story. Like you're your own main character, and I think you have to just keep on keeping on, because life happens, I guess. Yeah. And make decisions.
Totally. I think for me, I think that was a good point you made. Like, be true to yourself. Like, be honest with yourself. And it's hard in life. We get hurt. We go through experiences. We have things happen to us. I think it's a good reminder to not have a hard shell. I remember I had a high school teacher that always said, have the skin of an alligator, but the heart of a marshmallow. Meaning, like, keep a soft heart. Like, sometimes you need to have thick skin because the world gets hard, but don't let that harden your heart, was her point. And I think, like, for Belly, I think that our frustration with her as the audience is like, girl, we want you to be honest with yourself, be kind to yourself, and follow your heart, because we know like what you want. And so, there probably were times where she didn't know what she wanted, but I think it's a good reminder to be honest too with like the people around you. And you could tell that she was struggling. Like, once after that, she had that moment with Jeremiah at Christmas. She started, she didn't get to be herself anymore, and she did hold it in. And so I think like being honest and talking to people around you, and just because she didn't tell Taylor that until her bachelorette party. That was something that stuck out to me. I thought it was interesting how Belly wasn't super vulnerable like with her friends. It seemed like she held a lot of stuff in, instead of being like, oh no, I'm struggling with this, I've got to call my friend and confide in her, whatever. She held stuff in for a long time, and I think that gave us an insight to like, oh, she was really struggling internally with all of these things, and with Jeremiah and with Conrad. So I think it's a good reminder to just be honest with yourself, true to yourself, and hopefully not get into love triangles, because that's scary.
It's so scary.
Stay away.
Yeah. Stay away.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, on that note, thank you to the entire The Summer I Turned Pretty cast and production team, and Jenny Han for bringing this series to life. We love you all. And please be sure to follow us, the Young Entertainment Podcast. Make sure you subscribe. So whatever channel, whatever way you listen to us, whether it's Spotify or Apple, or maybe you're watching us on YouTube. Hi, thanks for hanging out with us. And we do something really cool every week. We give away a how to get an agent guide for aspiring actors and actresses. All you have to do to enter that giveaway is just DM us on Instagram, proof that you follow us on any social platform or on any of the podcast platforms. So be sure to do that. And thanks so much for listening. We are so grateful you guys are here listening to our hot takes. And we love being your besties in entertainment and just debriefing with you about our favorite shows. It is so much fun.
No, thank you everyone for listening to this episode.
Yes, thank you guys. We'll catch you on the next one. This has been the Young Entertainment Podcast.